Alright, good Erev Shabbos everybody, fresh out of the mikveh. And I even looked at the Maharal a little bit before I started just to make sure, what are we getting into. I saw at least the first two Torahs that I'm looking at today are pretty short, so we could be able to finish them. I don't like to make zugas, so maybe we'll do three. We'll see what we're holding by. So we're in Leviticus chapter 23, verse 2, the Heilige Zayde Maharal mit Prague. So Chisi you can line him al Kol Yisrael and I'll say him Mayadis. Okay, so let's see what Rashi says while we're here already. It says Darbel b'nei Yisrael Mayadei Elu Mayadei Hashem as say Mayadish you Yisrael L'madim behem. So the Rashi says make holidays so that set times the Jewish people should be learned of them. I want to make like Al Derech Drush to say that they're Muladim Bohem, that through the Mayadis Mizilver Mulamadim, through the holidays will become scholars, right? So the example Shema Bernas Hoshana Al Galia Shenekrim Imkayim Lalus Levagav Odayin Leigilu Shalayim. So Sifra says that we'll make an extra month, we'll make a leap year, in order so that the Jews who left, they were traveling from, there's records of Jews traveling from Egypt, from, even Philo was a philosopher, right? Philo, he was not really Ben Torah, but he records that he made the pilgrimage to Yerushalayim one time and he lived in Alexandria, and similar other, I'm sure, from other parts of the Golas. So if they didn't get to Yerushalayim yet, give them a chance. We'll make a leap year, an extra month, so we can get there. So the Heilige Zayde Maharal mit Prague says in Miksiv. This is what's written. Darbel b'nei Yisrael Mayadei Hashem. Speak unto the children of Israel the appointed seasons of the Lord. Malamed shiyu oisim v'mayadim b'shvil shigiu kol Yisrael l'regel. It means that because it says make these holidays, it means make them so all Jews could make the pilgrimage. In order they should become mulamadim, meaning, like I said, Philo, he's very famous in the Goyish world, right? But he wasn't a Ben Torah, right? And it's Gevena Yid, but he said a lot of crazy things that are totally wrong. Meaning that you see from Philo, he didn't know Hebrew. He only knew the Torah in Greek. So he wasn't a Malumid, right? And yet he was Oil Regel. He made the pilgrimage. And I'm sure there are other Yidden, also the Zelbazach. The same thing. If you give the opportunity for the Jews to make the pilgrimage to Yerushalayim, and you show that you care about them, that you'll even make a leap year so that they have more time to make it to Yerushalayim, what happens? A Yid goes to Yerushalayim, it's not to eat falafel, it's not to go to the nightclub, it's not to go to a restaurant, not to go to a soccer game. You go to Yerushalayim to learn Torah. That's what Yerushalayim is for. Yerushalayim are a kodesh. And also you bring korbanos, you do other mitzvahs. But the point is that it's the same thing. Same reason why I have a mitzvah of Meiser Sheni. Because the richer a person is, the more time he's going to have to spend in Yerushalayim in order to eat the Meiser Sheni. It's the same thing. So weiter. Shekol mechalas hamayadim. So again, Rashi macht Ma'inyan Shabbos etzel mayadis. Why is Shabbos mentioned first before all the holidays? If you break Yontiv, it's like you're Mechal Shabbos. And if you keep Yontiv, it's like you keep Shabbos. So that's what Rashi says. So the Heilige Zayde Maharal mit Prague says, Shagam Heim Nikrei Shabbos. So the reason for this is because every Yontiv is also called Shabbos. Every annual holiday observance is also called the Sabbath, a day of rest. V'heim zayin yomim. Not only that, but biblically there are only seven Yomim Tovim, right? Shnei Yomim Shel Pesach, the first day and the seventh day of Passover. Yom Echad Shel Atzeres, the one day of Shavuos, of Pentecost. Yom Echad Shel Rosh Hashanah, the one biblical day of Rosh Hashanah. Even though even there they keep 2 days, nonetheless, it's this, and it's one day. It's really biblically one day. Yom Echad Tzema Asor. One day is Yom Kippur, the fast of the 10th day of the month. Shnei Yomim Shel Sukkos, and also the first day of Sukkos and Shmini Atzeres. That is 7 days corresponding to the Shabbos, which is the 7th day. And so if someone violates the holidays which are included under this rubric of Shabbos, it's like he violated, it's like he desecrated the Shabbos itself. Shehu Yom HaShvi, that's the 7th day. So the Heilige Maharal says you have to understand this very well. You have to understand, why is it that someone who violates Yontiv is like he violates the Sabbath? So Mechal Yontiv is like a Mechal Shabbos. It's because the holidays themselves are a portion of the rest. And we should remember the Rambam says in Chutz La'aretz, if you don't keep the 2 days Yontiv, you ain't like Chiluk Olam Haba, so you have to keep second day Yontiv also. Not just the biblical day, the rabbinical day also. Shabbos he koilel kol shavisa. So the holidays are a portion of the rest, of the Sabbath rest, and the Shabbos, the Sabbath itself, is inclusive of all the rest. And that's why on this Shabbos we read Parshas Emor, we read about the holidays, we're including all the holidays in this. Let's see, is this a long one or a short one? Alright, it's short enough, we could do it. So here we learn about making the month longer, could add an extra day of the month, and also making the year longer, adding another month. B'Toras Kahanim. This is this. Let's see what Rashi says. So Rashi says, "L'mayla medaber b'Rosh Hashanah, v'kan medaber b'Kiddush HaChodesh." So the previous verse was talking about adding, making an extra month with a leap year, so a 13-month year, in order to make sure that that the people have time to make it, and also to make sure that it's the right time of the year. Not like, Lahavdil, the Muslims, Ramadan, every time we have a leap year, they go back a month, because we both lose 11 days a year. Anyway, we don't have time. Let's finish this up. If that's not the case, so this particular verse is verse 4 is talking about the adding extra days to a month, whereas verse 2 is talking about adding extra months to a year. Why does it say these are my appointed seasons? Verse 2 is talking about adding extra months to the year. There's a certain reason you have to add an extra month to the year. The main reason is that Nisan should always be in the spring in the northern hemisphere. And that sets up the whole year. That makes everything in its due season. Here we're talking about adding extra days to the month. Similarly, this also establishes which day of the month, which day of the week a holiday will fall, because we have different rules, like Loyadu L'Rosh, that Rosh Hashanah cannot fall on a Sunday or a Wednesday or Friday, in order to avoid Yom Kippur falling on a Friday or a Sunday, because we don't have 2 days where we can't cook, Lefichach ksiv gam kein moyadei Hashem etzli bar chodesh. That's why over here it says the appointed seasons of the Lord by the adding days a month. Similarly, Pesach always falls the same day of the week as Tisha B'av, and so we have these different things that we when we're making the calendar, it's based on that. And of course, the calendar is already set for us by Hillel Hasheni, but nonetheless, Hillel the second. But nonetheless, we have such a thing. Thank you for watching. Have a good Shabbos. Please like, share, and subscribe. Comment, and we'll see you all later.